Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta.
I'm an idiot.
You had no beer?
No, I had a beer. And as I was sitting there dancing along to the music, I cracked it.
Hard not to, man.
I was looking at you when I said your name, and you had this look of I messed up. I'm but I was thinking did I mess up? Because I've been messing up the intro for so many times now. I was like, what did I do wrong? I thought I got it right this time.
No, I cracked my beer literally right before us.
Now, if you do that, you got to chug it.
But the funny thing is, I even have 2 open beers now. I literally cracked the one that I was about to crack early. Jesus Christ.
So
I think how great would it have been though if we came back from the music starting and Ryan just sitting there with the can just chugging the entire thing. This is Ryan Graham. You just hold a finger up what's up?
That we'll save that for episode 200.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I can't talk. This should be fun because we will remember this come episode 200.
Yeah, I won't remember this come next episode.
You won't remember this by the end of the night.
Good point. I am all by my lonesome at home, and that has meant about an hour earlier for beginning of drinking.
Well, I didn't want to be outdone by you, so I went ahead and made a vodka drink instead of just
right.
drinking beer ahead of this. And this is number 2 vodka drink.
Sweet.
To go along with the beer.
So just
mixing the 2 up,
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, guys. Have a good weekend. Ryan, I know you like you said before, you're living the bachelor life this past few days. So you probably had a good time.
Yeah,
smoking some more meats.
It's been quiet.
Doing some practicing, some barbecuing for tailgating, right?
Yeah, I did some chicken wings, which were a lot better than my first batch of chicken, just because I cranked up the heat a little bit better, but still a little chewy. So just figuring chicken skin on chicken is going to be tough. I think it's going to be hard for me to figure out.
Pretty much, that's the big hard stuff with barbecuing is chicken skin. That's at least that's been my downfall the entire time. So
yeah, everything else is pretty easy. You gotta go and check on it. But for the most part, it is the advice is keep it closed and don't look at it. Stop worrying about it. Just don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Even if you overcook it, it's gonna be fine.
For the most part, yeah, that's true. That
sounds really difficult.
Well, the thing with barbecuing is it's not well. When you're doing what Ryan's doing, and I'm not taking anything away with using the pellet smoker, that takes a lot of the difficulty away from the hardest part with barbecuing, in my opinion, is maintaining those temperatures when you're burning chunks of wood and coal. Yeah. But when you get used to it, you get used to it. But
yeah, tending the fire.
So, but let's get to some. Go ahead.
I was going to say someday I will upgrade, but now I'll be learning some fundamentals, and then I do think I like this enough. A week and a half in, that I will want an offset at some point or something like that.
Nice. Yes. Let me know when you get your testicles. That'd be fantastic. I'll come over and.
All right. So you don't want any of my smoked meats at the tailgate? That's fine.
I do.
That's cool. If it's not an offset, it's not real anyway. So
Thankfully, because we talk about this and phones listen or don't listen, now on Facebook I get things to join smoked meats groups, which is nothing I search for.
Well, what I got excited about was the Sibilias commented, and I was like, so if I bring meat, you'll put it on pizza? So
there we go.
Our powers combined.
You're creating a little Voltron of tailgating foods.
That's right.
Just need excellent. All right, well, let's get to some Georgia State stuff.
What is there?
I thought this was the Smoked Meat podcast.
No? Smoke of Atlanta. Yeah. Actually,
so-called meats of Atlanta.
Yeah.
We could just do a weird episode all about it and call it Smoke of Atlanta.
I wanted to do an April Fool's episode that first year, and you guys were like, nothing to talk about. Can't do it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Well, now we have something.
Now we got something. Now everybody knows. So open practice this weekend. Tim, did you finally get on board? Are you going to be coming?
I might. Also, I might have a race I'm running too. So we'll see. And I'm going to a beer event at noon or 11.
So you're not going?
Probably not. No. That'd be a really tight fit between the two, running a race and going to a beer festival.
Well, were you concerned about masks being a requirement or anything like that at all?
No.
Are they?
I mean, it's outdoors, but I was curious whether or not they have the mask requirement. But I definitely wanted to use that. I confirmed
Jesus
that.
Christ, you just took what he was gonna say and you were like, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just.
I confirmed with athletics. I confirmed with athletics that masks will not be required at the open practice today.
Well, it's outdoors.
Yeah, I was just.
I didn't know. This fall.
Yeah, for the fall games. Yeah, well, fall games, of course. There's games are in fall. It's football, but no. But yeah, Ryan, you going? You're going, right? Making the long trek over.
Well, I'm a big strong maybe. I'm not.
Super far.
It's open on my calendar, but I often forget to add things to my calendar, as I often forget things in general. I think I'm open. I think I'm gonna go. I'm like a 79%.
This is like so they say like a lot of blogs or podcasts, whatever, say this. It's for the fans, by the fans. This is kind of like for the fans, by the semi-fans. Like, we're not sure exactly if we're fans, if we're gonna do anything.
Like, you've never missed any, Georgia State events in your life.
You can't think of one before I start saying my next sentence. So I'm gonna be there. I've confirmed that. Yeah.
Did you skip out on Georgia Southern last year or something? I don't know.
I missed a game because I was drinking too hard at home once. Does that count?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, no, it was. I want to. It was the 2019, maybe 18 season. I forget what it was, but I think it may have been the. We've been losing, and we had a friend in town from out of town. Obviously, that's how that works. And I was supposed to be like doing a little brunch thing here, and then I was going to take off for the game. But had a few drinks and game started, and we were winning. We were winning big, and I'm like, well, if I go to the game now, we're just going to lose. So I was just doing my part for Georgia State by staying at home.
Excuses.
Hey, you won the game. That's all that matters. But the games. So this thing starts at 10 a.m., and I think that's not too early that we can't tailgate a little bit first, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Well, let me check in with, people that'll be here and stuff.
I could make it, actually.
Oh, now you can make it? Now that I'm
like
tailgating.
You got the race and then 10 a.m. and the beer festival. Yeah, I think it might work. Barely.
Yeah.
For an hour.
I mean, yeah, most races start like at 7 or like 8 or whatever. You're done in less than an hour, so you're ready by 10 o'clock.
The beer festival, I want to be there when it starts. We got some limited release stuff. It's Monday Night Brewing's bazillionth anniversary. I think 10th, maybe. I don't know.
Have they been around for 10 years already?
Yeah.
My God.
I know. We're old.
No, they're old, and I'm just getting by. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good time. Hopefully it's a good turnout. Hopefully it's the same way that it was for that the spring game, because that was an awesome turnout. Well, no, it was a huge turnout. I mean, that was a large turnout for being a spring game. I don't think any spring game we've had has had that much of attendance, and maybe it was just people wanting to get back out again and doing stuff. But it was a great environment. I was excited about it.
It was good.
All the talk about having a sellout season or a sellout at least for the first game. I'm excited about seeing Center Park as packed as we can get it.
It better have concessions and it better be on point.
Yeah, I did not
confirm. Watching.
I did not confirm on concessions or sales of alcohol, but hopefully both of those will be taken care of.
10 a.m. on a Saturday, I don't know about the alcohol part.
Why not?
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I just think majority of people probably would.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the billboards around town? I guess around the stadium, really.
I guess there's one right near my house, right? Yeah.
I hope you saw it.
I didn't, but I haven't looked. I don't look at that billboard very often because it's always there.
But they got that. So one is like the team poster for the season, like Summer Hill's team, and the other one I just got posted today on PantherTalk. I saw was a sound the horn, like an arrow pointing to the stadium. I think it's pretty badass. I like that. I wonder how many people driving down the connector have any idea what sound the horn means.
Who cares? Maybe that's a marketing strategy, right? To be a little confusing so people look it up.
Yeah. And it was said on PantherTalk, and I agree completely. It's a great little marketing slogan. The sound the horn thing is really kind of caught on, I think, with fans and opposing fans. The message boards are always talking about how annoying that horn is.
I was going to say it's going to be louder this year. So this is like a confirmation that the horn will be loud, not toned down. Like, what, last year they had it toned down, right?
Should we do a promo for whoever buys tickets from the opposing fan base? We give them like little pink earmuffs or earplugs or something like that. And be like, sorry, your delicate ears can't handle the sound of us scoring touchdowns and sacking you guys. So here's little earplugs so you have to hear our awesome horn.
If it has the Panther head on it, then Southern will get their hands on it.
Yeah, I just thought of that. This was not anything I had written down.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking now, how great would it be to hand out earplugs to opposing fans, telling them like, sorry that we're too good for your ears. So yeah, when a song gets stuck in your head, they call it an earworm, and like when you have a deafening sound, we can make it a ear panther,
an ear horn,
an ear panther,
ear horn, ear panther, ear cat, something like that. I don't know.
Ear claw.
Nope, this is weird.
You don't like this conversation?
Nope, nix this idea. It's bad.
Okay.
All right, you bring up something then.
I'm vetoing it. You just said ear cat out loud.
I know it's so stupid. I had no idea where I was going with that, and apparently it was going directly into the ditch, going directly into the beautiful Eagle Creek.
like what kind of co-host would I be if I didn't call that kind of shit out?
You
I don't know
be
what kind
Ryan.
It's true.
I got nothing. All right. So next topic. See if this goes anywhere. CBS they did their ranking of all 130 teams in FBS, and
32.
Where 32 is what you're saying, Ryan?
84.
Tim's closer. They got us at 97.
Oh, oof. Ouch.
The interesting thing about like we've looked at a lot of these rankings these people have done, and it's always been like App and Coastal as far as the East, App and Coastal the top, and then it kind of bounces back and forth whether Georgia State or Troy is the next one, and then the trash down south coming in last place, which is basically what happened here. If you look at their rankings for how the Sun Belt fared in their whole 130, it was Coastal and Appy. Troy at 95. I mean, it's another flip flop on how close it is. But yeah, I do like that the trash down south came in 2 spots behind us at 99. It'd been great if they actually made it into triple digits, but whatever.
Were there any reasons? Were there blurbs in there?
There were blurbs, but not for any of our teams. Or at least not for our team.
It was like every 4th or 5th one, they'd like write a little something. Not
even that. You'd be scrolling, and all of a sudden there'd be a paragraph, and you'd scroll some more, and then you'd see 2 paragraphs, and yeah, it was weird. But one thing I thought was interesting, Lafayette actually came in. They cracked the top 25 at 25.
Wow.
But basically the way the Sun Belt rankings were Lafayette, the entire Eastern Division, and then the rest of the West.
Yeah, where'd they have Coastal?
The West was all below 99. No.
Yeah,
the rest of the West.
So you had Lafayette at 25. And then Arkansas State, Texas State, USA, Monroe all came in 108, 120, 122. Wow. 126, Monroe is 126. There's 4 teams they think are actually not as good as Monroe. So go Monroe. Way to go, guys.
All right, cheers to that.
Was that like Idaho? No, Idaho's FCS now.
Right? I think I wrote it down. They were better than UTEP, Bowling Green, Old Dominion, and UMass. And I think that Old Dominion should be last place in everything because they didn't even play a game last year.
F those guys.
I mean, they're next to last. How bad does that make UMass feel? We're like, UMass is horrible, but you come in behind the team that didn't play a game last year.
Are they still like up in the air on whether they'll drop down to FCS? Because I know that was sort of like a thought that was happening because they're independent and also not very good. So it's hard for them to schedule.
And their stadium is an NFL stadium that's 90 minutes away from campus or something like that.
Something stupid. Well, is that still true? I know
have
that
no
was
idea.
true a couple of years ago.
I could be making that up, or not making it up, but just reciting old information. I'm not
Because they
sure.
were playing in Gillette, right?
Yeah, whatever the Patriots playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there. I should know, but it was so foggy I couldn't see anything. You asked what Coastal came in. I think Tim you asked 31.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I guess Lafayette surprises me at 25. Coastal doesn't surprise me at 31 only because that recency bias. They just think that they're going to be good, and they're returning almost everybody and their coach, and their quarterback is supposed to be or is good, whatever. But
so it's kind of a slap in the face, right? I mean, Coastal coming in beneath Louisiana. That they're saying, "Hey, Louisiana's better than you. We don't care about your Cinderella last year."
I think it's acknowledgement that if you had played your stupid conference championship game instead of coveting out, that you maybe get a little bit more credit for everything, but. I don't know.
Is it like the Olympics where the two guys doing the high jump or the whatever? I don't know how it was. They both had the same score and they just shared the gold medal. That's what Louisiana and Beach Chicken said. They're like, hey, if we both just don't play, we both. Well, so first.
I think the difference here in this one, it was those who are the pole vaulters, was they came up to the ref and said, what happens if we choose not to compete? And they say, you tie. Whereas the Sun Belt went to Coastal and Lafayette and said, so you guys aren't competing and you're tying. And everyone's going to acknowledge Coastal as being the Sun Belt champion, even though it's technically co-champion. But
I think that's what happened. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory approved. Not even confirmed, just approved.
I looked at our out-of-conference opponents, how they ranked in here, and they have North Carolina at 8, Auburn at 30, Army at 82, and Charlotte all the way down at 115. So that Charlotte game should be a complete blowout. Like, we should just recreate the Coastal game, just flip-flop the scores from last year for the Charlotte game. And I think Ryan is either passed out or checking his email right now.
He's checking his email.
I am zoned out though. You're boring.
Our podcast is boring him.
His own podcast is boring him. So,
yeah.
All right. Fine. We'll move on. So I talked about this before, but all indications are at least Georgia State is expecting Army to be a sellout game.
Nice. What does that mean?
25,000 tickets sold.
999.
Tickets
Isn't that
sold,
the number?
yeah.
Some stupid 999 number. Isn't that what it is?
Is that really what it is? They don't actually.
I think so.
It maxes out at the variables can only hold however many bits.
Well, I don't know. It's like the number of seats they have, but it's like there's the exact same stadium will have sellouts of different numbers. It's like a sellout of
24,333. Some weird number. We should find,
I'm just curious. I didn't know if I know they had the upper deck for the birthday bash, and so I was wondering if we now included the upper deck. Should I say upper deck a couple more times?
You got to bring upper deck up every week now, don't you?
3 times. Will the upper deck be covered in time for the practice?
Will I have pooped in the upper deck?
Okay, there we go.
Some people did.
Coastal fans.
They can poop in the upper deck, just not in my house.
So expecting a sellout. I'm curious how much of that is coming from Army, because that's one of the things I hear a lot when I talk to anybody that is in the know is Army is going to show up big time. And I'm curious, is it just because it's the first game of the season? Because we've had Army in the house before, and granted it was horrible weather.
We had Air Force.
It was great. No, it was
Army. We had Army as well.
Oh,
okay. It was raining crazily all day long. You guys got soaked, remember?
Yeah, it was 2019. I'm trying to find a
was that the year where every single week was just the worst, and then you got that tailgate machine and the weather was the worst?
That was the game, yeah, where I had the big trailer and everything for the game, and yeah. But so I mean, that was a well-attended game, and it may have been way more well-attended had whether or not been as bad as it was, but they weren't like pimping out that it was going to be a sellout game back then for that game. And I have to assume it's just because it's the first game of the season.
Yeah, I think I think people are just really excited to like get out and do things and be among other people. I think that's still like something that's happening right now.
I agree. I think that people are still like, because there were so many that like Tim, for example. I mean, Ryan, you and I went to the games last season. Tim still hasn't been to Center Park for a game.
2019.
Right. And there's probably a lot of people that are in the same boat as Tim that are just anxious to go. And obviously, Atlanta being the city it is, you've got a lot of Army people here. And I know that, I guess technically, like being in the Army doesn't necessarily make you a fan of like West Point football, but maybe gives you an inclination to come this time.
Well, and on top of that, they were pretty good last year. I think they had 2 or 3 losses. So, they should be in better shape than when they came here in 2019. They had many losses that year. So I think,
Right.
You're seeing a better team. No one got to go see football last year for the most part. And everyone wants to come
Right.
out and watch. I mean, not only Georgia State fans, but obviously you've got the Army fans that want to come into the stadium and watch the team. You probably get a handful of just randos that want to come watch football that haven't,
Right.
Things are open up, but people probably still want to do stuff and go out and try new things,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a good time. I hope it is a sold out game. I hope we can get some great pictures of the full stands and the scoreboard with us having 40 something points and them having nowhere near that.
0.
Smoked meat.
41-7, right, Ryan?
41-0.
Ooh, upgrade to 0.
You've given up on the 41-7. Now it's 41-0. That's all I got about Georgia State football. You guys got anything else you want to talk about before we head on to other stuff?
I don't have anything.
I don't know if it's even worth mentioning exactly, but we did get 2 new basketball games announced, or we got dates set for them. Richmond, November 16th, and Tech December 21st.
All right, for a real game, huh?
Man.
Yeah, I will definitely be there as soon as tickets become available. I'll definitely be at that game. Both of these games, by the way, are Tuesday nights when we record.
So are we not going to record? What are we going to do?
Record from the arena?
Yeah, we're just gonna I guess I don't know. Record during the game, just sitting there at this
During
stand
timeouts
talking.
and free throws.
Let me check my notes. Whistles in the background and squeaky feet.
Yeah, so apparently the out of conference schedule is not, they're not checking with us at all when they make these games set up. So we don't have the influence we thought we did.
Yeah, they should really not be scheduling, especially away games on Tuesdays. Like,
they should know better right now.
There should be a name for an away game that's not an away game. So like playing at Tech is technically away, but you really so now I have to leave my house like 3 minutes earlier.
Well,
then I went to go to the sports arena.
What I left out was that when we have home games on Tuesdays, they need to accommodate a space for us to be able to watch the game and then also podcast.
We need a press pass. We need to have our own little booth there at McCamish to do the whole thing. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Tim, use your powers.
David. Get on it.
I don't have anywhere close to those powers. That's your department.
I have less than powers. All right, but on the basketball court, we talked about the men's basketball schedule last week, and then women's basketball schedule came out the day afterwards. And I'm not gonna do a deep dive into it, but it is not a good schedule. It's bad. Whereas I gave Sunbelt credit for having a good schedule for our guys this year, it's bad for the women.
How many games are you going to?
Yeah, I know, right? With this schedule, I don't know how many I can make it to.
Is it timing? Is it the dates? Is it back to back? Is it too many away games? What is it? What's wrong with it?
All right, so you open up at home. Okay, great, for 1 game. Then you're away for 3. You're home for 5. Away for 1. Home for 2. And finish the season away for 4.
That's pretty bad.
It's bad. And on top of that, there are, whereas our guys only have like 1 week where there's kind of like only one game, or it's like a bye-ish week for it's a bye-curious week for the men's team. The women's team, they have 2 weeks where there's 7 days between games, so it's kind of like, I mean, it's a full week off, right? But both of those stretches come during that 5-game homestead. And so it's like, it's not even like during an away stretch or anything. It's a really bad schedule. It makes no sense to me whatsoever at all.
Wait, but don't you get upset about these types of schedules because like it sucks as a fan to go for long stretches and stuff?
I think it sucks for both the fan and the team. When the team has to go 5 weeks on the road, or I guess it's not like 5 weeks, or 2.5 weeks on the road, that's bad. That's bad. It's hard on the players, but it is hard on the fan to be able to like every single week go out to a game, and like your weekends, because these are Thursday, Saturday games, just like the men's are.
But you're not going to games.
Well, the fans are the fans that will be going to the games, the families and everybody like that. I don't know. So you don't really care. Like do 8 home in a row, then do 8 away in a row. I don't really care.
I don't understand why they're not traveling with the men's basketball team and then just playing double headers all the time.
I literally had that question asked because that's the way the schedule was about 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. That's what they did. They had the women's team traveled with the men's. No, sorry, I shouldn't say with. The men's and women's team traveled together. They played the exact same schedule, and the men's games picked up after the women's game. Get pushed back sometimes if games went into overtime or whatever. I liked that thing, and I don't think it got a lot of reception or good reception from other fans, but I thought it was cool.
Well, I think it's kind of weird. It's a good cost-saving measure because you put all the same equipment into the truck. You just load it all up once, and then everybody goes together, and maybe you got an extra bus or something, but like not an extra if they were doing like what they do now. But I mean, it's all consolidated. So it's like you save a bunch of money, and like the people who want to go can still go to that game, and they can go to both games if they want. Like it's because basketball's shorter anyway. So you just go to both games. If you want to go to that game, it's fine.
So that makes way too much sense. So is that why the Sun Belt doesn't do it?
Maybe.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I really
They're like, this is working. Let's switch it up.
I really do feel like there was some negative feedback for it. But what I think they should have done, at least from a Georgia State perspective, is the way they were doing those pack home game little pregame party type deals with those little booze and the lunch and everything. Do that for the women's game. Have that set up where everybody can come in and they can have a few drinks and they can eat during that whole time period is the entire women's game. Up top, the entire women's game, and then go down to your seat for the men's game. And I think that would draw a lot more people in to watch the women's game. And there are going to be people that are just like chatting and not paying attention, but there's going to be a lot of people that are paying attention and cheering on a lot more. And you get a bigger draw. You get 2 games. I think it'd be a lot of fun that way.
I agree. And leave it open for the men's too, if you just want to hang out up there. Yeah,
men's, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, you keep it up all the time. But that was a big issue. Like they said, like they took away from fans being in the crowd when they were up there. But I liked it because I always found extra drink tickets.
Yeah, exactly. I got
found them on the table, on the floor. You might not give them your drink ticket.
I don't drink. Here's my drink tickets.
Sweet. Yeah, I guess the only thing close to that for the football schedule is that gauntlet of trash, swamp, and beach chicken.
Yeah, that murderous row 3 weeks in a row. And when I first looked at the schedule, I didn't think of it being that bad. But as we've gotten closer and closer to the season starting, that's a gauntlet, man. Those 3 games, thankfully, and I think I said this before, thankfully we have the trash down south first. So we're as rested as we can be going into that to knock them out and then ride that wave of winning directly through the beach chickens in Lafayette or whatever we're at.
You got ULM, the bye week, Texas State, Southern. You take a little step up, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not confirmed yet. That's a step up, and then then you go to the cream of the crop. And you come down a little bit, apparently per CBS Sports, and then you go down again to Arkansas State and Troy.
Yeah.
What was Troy ranked in that thing? the CBS?
They were 95. They were 2 spots ahead of us.
Nah, whatever.
And I think there was like a Western Michigan in between us. Like, honestly, now that I think, I could be completely making this up, but I think there was Western Michigan between Troy and Georgia State, and then like Eastern Michigan between Georgia State and the trash down South.
They just want to separate the Michigan.
We can't put 3 Sunbelt teams in a row, so let's like throw in some random MAC teams to go in there.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yes, I should go to women's games. Their women's games should get more support, but yeah, it's a hard time.
Hard time getting a house to go to, you know?
Yeah.
If they were only on the same day, you can go earlier.
It'd be a lot easier to go that way. All right, we've lost Ryan again, so I guess we'll move on to
what are you talking about?
the next subject.
I think he's probably surfing porn at this point.
Well, he is home alone for a few days, so who knows? Well, so yes, he is.
Guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, make sure to turn your camera off, dude.
I'm super paranoid. Awesome. I usually turn it off. I usually unplug it.
Just in case.
So realignment is obviously still a very, very hot topic about all of well, yeah, it could be over. It could be over. I meant to say this last week when we talked about it. This could be the most important season of football for Georgia State. Like, hands down, the most important season. Because if there's going to be decisions made, look at what Coastal did last year. They got everyone's attention. Everyone's putting them high up in their preseason rankings. Everyone thinks they're the next UCF or Boise State, or at least they're talking about them that way. Georgia State plays a very tough schedule this year, and if we can come out with a very, very solid season, it puts us in people's minds just like it does Coastal and Boise and UCF. So when conferences start picking up teams next season or whatever happens, it won't be a surprise to people when Georgia State, yeah, they're good. They beat UNC and Auburn. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's good. But if we have another crap year as we're known to do, they're like, why are they picking up those guys? Or they're not. We're just not going to get picked up whatsoever at all. So I think it's a very important season for Georgia State. A very important season.
You want to look good in your prom dress, right?
I'm pretty happy with the steady growth that we've seen as a program over the last few years, as opposed to just having like one monster year. I mean, I'd love to have the monster year too, but like I think that it would probably look good to school presidents and whatnot looking at us and seeing upward trajectory and seeing what we're building. I think that would probably equal out with, a flash in the pan with Coastal, or a flash in the pan with us next year.
Would you want 3 6 and 8 win seasons, or 1 11-1 season and then a 2 and 10 season?
I don't like any of those. What I want is I want 10 to 11 wins every single season, like as bare minimum.
Big Bobo fan over there.
Well, yeah, if you could have that kind of success.
Guy, I see.
Anything less is failure.
Sorry, I want to go 12-0 in the regular season every single season. So yeah, that's what I want. But I'm thinking though, right now we need to be what that UCF was, where they went 2 years without losing a game. We need to have that type of stuff. And yes, Katrina, thank you, because it's very rare that someone agrees with me, and it's even more rare that a woman agrees with me. So thank you.
What is she agreeing to, though?
I don't know. Like, how long ago is that from?
So I'll say this: this season, right, or out of conference, if we go 1-3, is it a failure?
Yeah, absolutely.
2-2, failure.
2-2 is ho hum.
Wow. So what are you expecting? 4-0?
I'm probably expecting 2-2.
5-0.
What are we talking about? Sorry,
we're out of conference this year for football. What's failure?
4-0, man. Just win, baby.
I think with UNC, so Army, they're expected to be a little bit better than us. I think that the line is still in our favor right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe we win that game. if we don't win that game, then
Which one?
the Army game.
Oh,
The wheels have fallen off, and I'll have zero expectations for the rest of the season.
oh my God!
Wow, one
Please.
game more out. We sound like Georgia State fans. I don't know.
And you'll still go to every game.
Absolutely, right?
Absolutely, I'll go to every game.
Yeah.
Especially for Ryan Smoke Meats.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to have those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, David can't have those. He's done because the pellet smoker is not. It's not good enough.
No, it's allowed. It's allowed. It's satisfactory.
I'll eat David's portion.
Pellet smoker is a 2-2 out of conference record. It's satisfactory.
Look, David, not all of us can be professional, competition smokers. All right.
And to that, Ryan, I say, you're right.
Not all of us want to be. Thank you, David.
But no, I really do think this is an important season for Georgia State, and I think they can do it. I really do. I mean, is it realistic to predict wins over both North Carolina and Auburn? Absolutely not. But I think this team has the ability to compete very, very hard with them. And even outside of those two games, we have the ability to win out in conference. We have the ability. In conference.
Yeah. I think out of conference, though, 2-2 is something we should probably be happy about.
Yeah, what happens when those 2-2 is we beat UNC and Auburn, but we lose to Charlotte and Army?
I'll take it. I would take that in a heartbeat. Yep.
That'd be the third
I would take
pick.
that. Yeah, easily. I mean,
yep,
if I told you a team that lost to Charlotte and Army beat UNC and Auburn, would you believe it? No way.
I would just brand that as GSU in it.
You ride the wave up on Army, down on North Carolina, back up on Charlotte, and then you're like, Auburn, lose.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, going to that Appalachian State game afterwards, they'd be like, we have no idea what to expect out of this team.
Who are we facing?
Mystery.
But I would love to go 2-2. I mean, I think 1-3 is potential. I'm hoping we win the first game, and then I feel 2-2 is pretty much a lock. And then I still feel we have a good shot to pull out a W with Auburn. Not so much Carolina, but you never know.
If we win Charlotte Army and we play competitively in both UNC and Auburn, like not like huge blowouts, that's acceptable. That's fine. I think that's good. But I really do think that I want to see one of those P5 upsets right there. I really do. I really do. So I think it's possible.
I would rather see the upset at Auburn, growing up a Georgia fan. I don't care about UNC very much. Like I literally don't think about them very often, except for that blue is just the most ugly blue that is on the planet. It's almost as bad as puke orange.
Yeah, like if you were going to the store to buy some new shirts and they've got all these different polos and different colors, that Tar Heel blue, you're kind of like, I don't want to wear that.
Isn't it baby powder blue? Isn't it technically baby powder blue or something?
Like that, yeah.
It's so
but I feel like when someone paints their motorcycle baby powder blue, it's kind of like, that's pretty badass.
Do you? I don't think
do you think Coastal was trying to figure out, hey, we need an ugly blue as well from South Carolina. We'll just, get our teal blue in there.
They're trying to combine the both things from South Carolina and North Carolina. So we're going to use the chickens from South Carolina and an ugly shade of blue from North Carolina. Could be. We literally have Ryan yawning right now. He's so bored at what he's doing right now.
It's not true. I am so tired.
We don't know what he's doing right now.
When Laurie helps me go to sleep on time, and when she's not here, I stay up. It turns out that when I was having trouble sleeping, it was just because Laurie didn't exist.
Okay. All
right.
Another thing about realignment that I had not considered before was, there's a lot of talk about, and maybe I guess we'll get to that later. If Conference USA kind of dissipates and goes away because of American teams going to Big 12 or Big 12 moving around or whatever happens there, I was like, well, what happens with the bowl tie-ins that Conference USA has? You would assume that Conference USA probably has some better ones. There's not many that are really any better than what we have. Like some of them that we're in are just with them. The only one I could see that was actually like really cool, like Hawaii. That'd be cool to go to Hawaii, but not because of the game, just for the trip. Which I can't imagine. I don't know how many Georgia State fans would travel to Hawaii. The diehards would certainly go, but not the two of you who are semi-hard fans.
Downright flaccid.
But the only one that stood out to me really was the Armed Forces Bowl. They have a tie-in with, which is a Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth against a Big 12 or a Pac-12 team. Like if we could get
some matchup right there.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fun.
I have to think some of these bowls are not making money, and that at some point they consolidate them anyway. And the more we have when that consolidation happens, the better off we are afterwards.
Right.
because they can only take away so many of our bowl, our bowl tie-ins. So I'd say just try to pick up as many as you can, even if they all suck, whatever, because we could just like trash those when they consolidate bowls eventually.
Right.
It's got to happen.
But there's a couple that are affiliate with, like Fenway Bowl against an ACC or an American team. That'd be a cool bowl for the Sun Belt to be able to get into. The Birmingham Bowl, which would be obviously a great bowl for Georgia State to get into for proximity, and that's against an SEC or an American team. That would be fantastic. And then the other one was Gasparilla in Tampa versus ACC, SEC, or American.
What are you talking about? They don't have any bowl tie-ins that we'd want. All three of those are better than every single bowl tie-in that we have.
Well, those are all affiliate bowl tie-ins, which means that Conference USA is like last to get into those spots if everything else is.
Every single one of those is better than anything.
Those three are good. Armed Forces would be the only one they have like an actual thing in there. That the other ones were either against Sunbelt or MAC teams or something like that. I don't really care about.
What are our affiliate bowls? Do we have anything that sexy or not?
Isn't the Bahama Bowl one of our affiliates?
I don't know.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, because they do it's like every 3 years or something, and we're an affiliate to it or something.
Yeah. I saw Katrina's message. She agrees with you on the wins.
It's been a long time, man. I don't even remember what that was about.
Yeah. I would say 2-2 is doable. 1-3 is.
Whoa, we've gone back we've gone like 5 minutes back right now. I love it.
3-1 would be awesome. 4-0 would be. Ryan will do it on the show.
Oh no, he will not. No, he won't. I don't know what it is, but it will not be doing on the show.
I didn't say what it is. He's just going to do it.
One last thing that kind of broke tonight. Apparently, the Big 12 and Pac.
Breaking news.
No. I'm not breaking it. We're not breaking it. It broke earlier.
Break the news.
The Big 12 and Pac-12 commissioners met today on a possible merger or scheduling alliance to kind of keep the Big 12 around or create a 20-team super conference or something like that.
I was going to say a merger is not really keeping them around. That sounds a lot like a dissolution of the Big 12 being proposed.
Right. But if that happens, then that means that no one's getting picked up from the American, which means the American's not picking up anybody from anywhere else. So really, that could be the best case scenario. If they get this scheduling alliance or a merger, it could be best case for Georgia State because American still has that one spot open that they're not obligated to fill right now. And if Georgia State can get that, it means that the teams that we want to play against, the Memphises and the Cincinnatis and the Houstons, are still in that conference. You're not stuck with Temple and Tulane and Tulsa as your big city teams.
Yeah, I think what it boils down to here is Texas and Oklahoma made this move too soon for Georgia State. That's it.
I really wish they would have considered it with us,
They need to do this in a couple of years, and then maybe we're in a better spot. Facilities and wins, new convocation center, NCAA tournament team, multi-years in a row. 2021. I mean, I know it's not till 2025. Well, I get it, but it's too soon for the announcement.
So Timmy, I'm glad you said that because next week we're going to have on the ADs from both Texas and Oklahoma to talk about why they were doing this to Georgia State.
Yeah, all right. Way to go, David.
You're ruining our 2025 path. That's all.
Well, so what I was gonna say is that that is the least good path. If Big 12 dissolves and nobody gets picked up, that's actually the least good path for us because then they're not picking up people and creating more opportunities for us to jump in. But of course, if they take all of the good teams, what are we jumping into?
Right. And even if they do this merger or this alliance, American still has that one spot open, that UConn spot that's left that they're having to get a waiver on right now to have a championship game just to do it. So there is still a spot in the conference we want to be in, and it means that it would be still the conference we want to be in.
Well, what if we do one better? And there was a big rumor going around back in the day, I seem to remember, that Georgia Tech was on the list to go to the Big 12. Georgia Tech to Big 12, Georgia State, ACC.
I agree, but I think you're more likely to get Georgia State to the Big 12 in that scenario because
I'll take it.
The ACC has they call it grant of rights or something, and it would cost Georgia Tech like $100 million or something.
They have so much money, they don't care, man.
To exit the conference.
They all have so much money, they don't care.
And it goes through 2035, 2036 or something like that. So
that was really smart of them to put that shit in place. I mean,
that's why a lot of teams are a lot of speculation does not include ACC teams going anywhere, is because it would cost a butt ton of money. And it's why Texas and Oklahoma, as of right now, aren't leaving until 2025 because it's going to cost them $75, $89 million or something like that to leave the Big 12. Big 12.
Yeah, but I saw a theory about them where they're basically going to make themselves like unbearable to be in a conference with, to the point where everybody just wants to like just leave. Bye.
If you've followed any of the message board activity, I feel like every single fan of the Big 12 already thought that Texas was unbearable to be in the conference with.
That's true. Yeah.
Your fancy Texas network and all that crap.
Yeah, that's one of the things they say. The Longhorn. I haven't been able. So I should not do vodka before I start the show because it really does mess with the speech pattern. Man,
I blame me. I'm sorry,
so
David. I'm sorry for putting you in a
network.
position where you have to drink a bunch of vodka.
The Longhorn Network was the downfall of the Big 12, and I don't know enough about Big 12 teams to know everything. I don't even know why they say horns down. So
keep that when they leave or no? I'm assuming no. ESPN's like, hey, your network. Sorry, that goes away. You're in the SEC network now.
Well, it's all ESPN anyway, so there's got to be an easy way to actually just transfer that because it's all ESPN.
True.
And fortunately, Sunbelt is an ESPN exclusive broadcasting partner. So
we're the SEC light, right? You know where we are?
That's pretty much how I feel like that's how we kind of operated as. We think we're the SEC of the G5 type thing.
All right, I don't get it. I don't understand what we're saying right now.
We're the top of the G5. Yeah.
Well, so think about it. Just a very small example was when the pandemic was still in full thing last year, and Keith Gill came out and said, "We're going to do whatever the SEC does. We're just following. If the SEC plays, we play the SEC. We play. If the SEC doesn't play, we don't play. We're just going to operate as if we are the SEC."
What a lame thing to say.
Okay. Sunbelt.
What? That's lame. What? Can't just think for yourself, Keith Gill.
I would have preferred he came out and just said we're going to play.
Yeah. Think for yourself, man. Either play or don't play. Don't be like, well, whatever they do.
All right. Cool.
I assume that there's legal ramifications with what he said, that it's easier to defend yourself in the court of law if something happens with liability or anything. Be like, well, everybody else was doing it.
So it's like when kid number 2 gets in trouble for doing something and they tattletale on kid number 1 and say, "What? Older brother was doing it, so I can do it too."
Yeah.
Or get them in trouble before you get me in trouble.
Basically.
But actually, that actually makes a lot of sense. I could totally see that happening in a court. Why did you subject all these kids, all these adults to COVID. Like, because the guy that you'll never sue did it.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Exactly. Be like, SEC did it too. What do you want from us?
all
I
right,
mean, we
dismissed.
essentially copied their logo, right? I mean, we tried to rebrand recently to
Who
make it
did?
a little different.
Oh yeah, the
Somehow.
SBC, like using SBC as the logo. Try to get right there with the SEC. Yeah, I guarantee you one thing: I will never, ever, ever shout SBC over and over again at a game.
What? Why not?
Hell no.
Is that surprising to you?
What? You crazy, man. SBC. SBC.
Who's
What?
Ryan? What's he on tonight?
I know, I'm in a weird
He's
place.
slow, sleep deprived right now. I'm not sure if he even knows what he's doing right now. All right, and with that, I'm gonna close this out, and we can get really messed up on last call.
Woo!
I may get back to more vodka on last call, so we'll see how it goes.
Do it.
All right, well, thanks everybody for listening.
Hey, wait. Do we have a coupon code?
Oh yeah. Isn't there a bus to Auburn? Wait, hold up.
Yes, you guys.
This is the important stuff of the podcast right here.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
You were supposed to do that a long time ago.
For free shipping at our merch store, merch.saveatlanta.com. Enter in the promo code Sound the Horn for free shipping for this week. Thanks for listening and get that there. And then also, more importantly, we're doing a bus trip to Auburn. Game tickets are available. A booze bus to Auburn for that game on the 25th. We got Dry County Brewery and Max Wine and Beer are sponsoring some booze for us.
I'll be there. David, are you going to be there?
I'll be there. Tim, you going to be there?
I'll be there when you get there. I can't wait to see you guys walk off that bus. It's going to be
He's stumbling out. It's going to be like I can't even think of the movie reference, but people get off the bus and it's just kind of like stumbling, like, the steam and sweat from the bus of everyone just yelling and screaming the entire 2 hours it gets down there. It's gonna be ridiculous. But yes,
by the
Auburn.
End of that day, I'm gonna hate all the decisions that I have made throughout that day.
It's gonna be one of those things where, I guess the analogy would be when you go to Vegas, everybody in the car driving from LA to Vegas. It's like 3 hours. It's like Vegas, and then the 3 hours drive back is complete silence.
Except for somebody else will be driving. Hooray!
Except for the fact we'll be coming back with a W, and that bus will be as raucous as can be.
I should bring a little garbage pail just in case. Just leave
I
it on
have
the
bought
bus.
I have bought 60 barf bags.
Oh,
he is
thank
thinking
God.
way ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I don't
Is
have
that enough, though?
Thing. There's 56 seats, so unless multiple people double up on their vomiting, I think we're good. But go to auburn.saveatlanta.com to get your bus ticket to Auburn. Gotta get your game ticket yourself. That's available for season ticket holders and pack members on GeorgiaStateSports.com. Cool. I bought mine as well.
I bought two for me and a buddy.
Excellent. So do that. And am I allowed to do the sign out, the closing thing now, guys? Did I cover everything else?
Did you cover everything? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You're the host.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We are going to head over to last call and
wait. I'm just kidding.
And tell Ryan how horrible a co-host he is by losing attention during the entire episode and everything else. It's available. Last call is available on our Patreon page, patreon.com, State of Atlanta. It is free. If you available on Fridays. If you do pay the $3 a month, you get it immediately available on Wednesday mornings. You also get access to our private group chat. You get discounts on our merchandise. You also get $10 off on our trip to the Auburn bus trip. So please consider doing that. Thanks, Brian, for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.